name is Six Fig Stock Trader, and I created this documentary to address concerns over the weaponization of futures trading from exchanges to manipulate crypto assets and markets. And we're going to really be talking about Solana and FTX in this video. And at the moment, FTX is the third largest exchange to Coinbase and Binance, respectively. Now, we're going to get into a little bit of the history with FTX and their partnerships just for context. Then we're going to go off the deep end. July 2019, Alameda started providing liquidity to FTX, which I have no problem with. More liquidity on an exchange, the easier it is, the faster it is for the users to make trades, the less volatile it is generally. So that's all fine and dandy. Now, in July of 2020, FTX and Alameda partnered once again to launch Serum, a derivatives exchange on Solana network. So now we have FTX, Alameda, and Solana all coming together for partnerships. And I think at this point in time, it would be fair to say that Solana and FTX have deep business-rooted relationships that really largely depend on the mass adoption and success of Solana. But really, there are several problems that Solana faces. Really, mainnet outages, the rise of alternative and superior blockchain technology, and at the time of this video, June 7th, 2022, dating back a year to June 7th, 2021, Solana's mainnet beta has suffered 15 outages, and this has been enraging users. So this is where things just kind of get extremely interesting, and it appears that FTX could be weaponizing its futures capabilities to manipulate competing crypto projects to favor Solana. You guys are going to have to hear me out on this. Now, we're going to take a little snippet here from Wikipedia. Market manipulation. What is it? It's a type of market abuse where there is a deliberate attempt to interfere with free and fair operations of the market. It goes on to say that market manipulation is prohibited in most countries, including the United States, under the Securities and Exchange Act of 1934. At this time, regulation is really a gray area in crypto. We see the SEC suing Ripple and all these other cryptocurrencies. So there is still this line that needs to be drawn in the sand as to what regulations apply to these exchanges, things like that. So when I dropped my first video explaining what possibly happened during the crash of the ICP token, which I suspect was highly manipulated by FTX, I decided that I would go ahead and study the last 50 perpetual futures listings that FTX announced via Twitter. And really, two of the listings stuck out to me: the Internet Computer and Ronin Network listings. Now, FTX allowed perpetual futures trading 4 days before the launch of ICP, and FTX allowed perpetual futures trading 21 days before the launch of the RON token. So why does this matter, folks? Well, because the price of assets, contracts, etc. are pretty similar across all of the exchanges. Exchanges follow each other when it comes to helping determine market prices on their own exchange. That's why when you look at CoinGecko and you see all the exchanges at the bottom, a lot of the prices kind of line up. So we might see a smaller exchange follow the prices of 3 or 4 larger exchanges, and they might come up with an average price between those exchanges and then sell their assets pegged to that average. So I hope that makes sense. And I think it would be reasonable to think that if you can control the price of an asset before anyone else, you could manipulate the price of that asset to a desirable or undesirable position before the competing exchanges have a chance to even plug in. So let's say that Ronin Network is going to allow trading at 10 p.m. on a Thursday night. Well, we've got FTX who has manipulated the price into some crazy high level or something. Just for example, all the exchanges plug in at 10 p.m. or whatever that time is, and they're following FTX. What does their prices do on their exchange? Well, they shoot way up, and that gives FTX this leverage to really rug pull everyone else. Now, I'm not saying that the leadership at FTX is doing this. We don't know. All I know is I am presenting data to you and you can make up your own mind what exactly is going on. So imagine having this type of power over a crypto project's token launch, like Internet Computer, which Internet Computer is superior technology to Solana. And when we look at Rana Network, oh man, we'll get into that in just a second. But it is weaponizing this power against one of the biggest NFT sales outlet, Ronin Network. I bet you guys didn't even realize that Ronin Network is one of the largest NFT sales platforms out there. So imagine the third exchange, the third largest exchange, not even bothering to list a top 40 cryptocurrency on their exchange, like ICP, which at the time of this video was ranked at rank 40. That's just fishy to me. And really, it shows me that FTX is trying to protect Solana by simply not even offering it on their own exchange. In fact, the shorts can't even buy ICP on the FTX exchange to close out their position. So does this mean that the shorts just have to keep shorting? Possibly. That could be an aggressive cycle that just repeats itself. Now, Rana Network, for those of you guys that don't know much about it, it was basically built for Axie Infinity by Sky Mavis. Axie Infinity had 2 million active daily users and $2.3 billion in total sales volume as of 10/5/2021. And you're probably asking yourself, why in the hell would FTX care about Rana Network? As I mentioned earlier, Solana is investing hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars into the crypto gaming and NFT industry. And really, Axie Infinity was created in 2019 or 18, as a Pokemon style inspired NFT game where users can buy Axie NFTs and battle them. Now, in December 2021, a complete ripoff of Axie Infinity was born on the Solana network called Elementes. Here's some gameplay. Let me know if you guys think that this was a ripoff. Like I said before, Rana Network is no joke, and they are they're in second place only to Ethereum when it comes to NFT sales by volume at over $4 billion worth of NFTs sold. Guess who ranks in third place? It's Solana. At this time, it's clear why Solana would view the Rana Network as a threat. In late March 2022, Rana Network did suffer a $600 million hack to the North Koreans. However, this all happened well after the token launch shenanigans. So we can't really blame the hack on any of this stuff. And when we look at the charts, we can see that the ICP perpetual futures chart, you can see how FTX started trading futures on May 6th, 4 days before the official token launch. FTX then pumped that ICP price over 350%. And once the opening candle lit up, FTX dumped the ICP token, and it's been downhill ever since. And interestingly enough, folks, Rana Network finds itself in a similar situation as Internet Computer. Only FTX opened up perpetual futures trading 21 days prior to the launch of the RON token. You can see that RON lost 41% of its value from the time FTX opened perpetual futures trading to the time the token had launched. Now, when we saw this type of manipulation, a huge bearish momentum barreling behind the scenes towards Rana Network's opening token launch, you can kind of see how this was like a tidal wave that nobody could see of bears clobbering the price down of Rana Network. FTX rug pulled the Rana Network launch just like they did to the Internet Computer launch. So this is market manipulation, bar none, in my own opinion. And the fact that a major exchange and cryptocurrency are partnered together in this to hose entire ecosystems and to fleece investors is definitely something to be very concerned about. Basically, the end result for FTX could be very grim when we look at FTX and Solana holders. and it could be very damaged easily, especially if authorities ever pressed criminal charges for criminal acts such as market manipulation, which is illegal. Really, folks, there's so much gray area in all of this stuff. What's legal, what's not? Was FTX creating some sort of legal liability when they were listing these perpetual futures early, especially for ICP and Ronin token? Because the last 50 perpetual futures listings that they did, these are the only two that I could find that launched early. Just so happens that they are their number one competition tokens. So I'm Six Fig Stock Trader. I would really appreciate it if you could smash that like button, also subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed this information that I presented to you. I want you to make up your own opinion as to whether or not FTX created some shady situations for Internet Computer Token and the Ronin Network token. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys all on the flip side.